Yo, hello, it's your boy Chike Investing. Let's go. Don't call me Chike though, only my family and actually, I don't have a friend in this world that can call me Chike, to be honest. Not even my best friends. Only my family, my wife can call me Chike. But I'm still Chike Investing. What's going on, gang? Here today with another video. We're going to be talking about number one, what an imbalance is. And then we're going to go and show you an OTE example. Kind of utilizing the idea of an imbalance and why they're important. All right. But before we go into that, here's the next thing I'm about to say. If you like this video, if you like the content I'm about to show you, if you learned something today, or if I reminded you of something that you've already learned, like the video, man. You know what I'm saying? For me, because it helps boost the video, it helps boost the channel. YouTube will actually show this video to other people. It'll help me grow in 2021. I'm evolving this year, and liking this video is going to help me in this evolutionary process. You know what I'm saying? So thank you so much for being a part of my process here of evolving. You know what I'm saying? I appreciate it. Also subscribe, that's also part of the evolutionary process. Chike Investing. I was Chike Onya, but now I'm Chike Investing. So we're up there, we're going up, we're changing. And so I need you to like, I need you to subscribe. I got a lot more content on the way. I got more equipment coming so I can record better videos. Thank you so much for your support. All right, let's get right into it. Actually, before we go into it, one more time, please like and subscribe. I know if you passed over it, just do it right now, please. I'm gonna forgive you. Just like and subscribe. All right, bet. So what is an imbalance? Oh, this is from my last video. Sorry, guys. What is an imbalance? An imbalance, right, is a formation of the candlesticks where you can see either one buyer or one seller came into the market with a lot of volume. What do I mean by volume? I mean by a lot of money. In Smart Money Concepts, we know that the banks are manipulating the charts all day. Well, actually not all day, during New York sessions and London sessions, right? They're manipulating the market with flooding it with a bunch of money, taking out liquidity, right? And sometimes they leave with these things that we call imbalances in the market. And here's something you need to know. When I say the banks, it's not most of the time, it's not actually people. It's what we call algorithms. These codes that are written by the banks, bought by the banks from other outside third-party, coders, that actually have the sole purpose of taking liquidity in the market, right? Or flooding the charts, or flooding currency pairs with a bunch of money in order to manipulate price action, right? So that they can profit off of it. There are other videos I've done on this, how they take highs, how they take lows. I've done a bunch of videos on that. Go ahead and siphon through my catalog. I have wonderful educational videos on these things. But here today we're going to be a little bit more advanced. So imbalances are a byproduct of algorithms coming in the market and flooding the market with too much money. And the same algorithm doesn't actually like to keep it that way. This is why sometimes you can see the market going like bop boop bop boop bop boop, right? Because there's always buyers and there's sellers. There's a bunch of sellers who push the market down. Buyers are going to buy it up because they think it's cheap. Sellers think it's too expensive, they sell it. Buyers think this, it's too cheap. But the market moves like that. So does algorithms. When you have a smart money move that pushes candlesticks too down, the same algorithm it's too cheap. Algorithm got to move back up, fulfill those orders, right? Fill out imbalance at least to the 50%, right? And move back down before going like this again, right? Or you can see it in smaller time frames. It'll move like this, right? It won't really leave some imbalances, but sometimes it comes with too much money and a candlestick like this forms, a crazy big candlestick. And then you'll see, some smaller ones come in, and then, it'll start the whole process again. These are really bad candlesticks. I'm so sorry about that. But hopefully you get my point here. So let's give you an example. Let's go straight into it, and then we'll talk about some OTE, right? Because this is actually something that helped me to design the OTE for today. 1 second. All right. So let's see this for a second. Let's move this away. Hold on. Sorry. let's move this away for a second. Now, we know that the dollar has been weakening throughout the year, right? A little while ago, later last week, last week we got this reversal where the dollar started strengthening again. I believe it had a lot to do with Biden and some other inflationary concepts that we don't need to discuss here. But the dollar started strengthening, and we could also blame it on smart money, right? And so, because the dollar's on the right here, you see this currency pair starting to fall, right? But you can see that this is too quick of a move. When you look in here, you can see candlesticks are going bap, 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 bap. You know what I'm saying? They're moving in a zigzag formation almost, right? Even look all the way over here, you got this rapid fall. But what ended up happening? This rapid fall got filled over here, because this is what we call an imbalance. You see how this candle is so strong downwards? All you see is blues, 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 right? You don't even see any wicks that pursue after. Look at this whole area from this last candle to this candle. There's this whole, let's draw that here. From this candle, that wick to that wick, you can see the reason why there's a wick here is because buyers pushed it back up to that wick. And the reason why there's a wick here is because sellers pushed it down here. But guess what? In here, buyers and sellers, they were in here. Buyers and sellers were in here. But this is just straight selling. There's no wicks here. This is just straight selling. The algorithm doesn't like that. There needs to be buyers and sellers always. You can see here, between here and here, candlesticks got filled. See this candlestick? There's not a point in time where there's not a wick to the left and to the right of this candlestick here. And it's the same for almost every candlestick that you see here. We're focusing on very obvious big imbalances, right? So there's an imbalance here. There's an imbalance between this wick and this wick. Look at that. This one almost filled it up, but I believe it didn't even come to the 50%. Right? The algorithm doesn't like that. So that's why you see this big pullback all the way to fill up this space, all the way over here. And now we're getting a downward reaction. Because the algorithm has done what it needed to do. However, because the dollar, I believe, is going to continue to weaken for the rest of the year, you may see this small reaction off of this area come down, but then you may continue to see it going up, right? The point of today is not so that we can trade based off imbalances, but they're important things to keep in mind because they usually end up getting filled. And there are much better, what's the word I'm looking for here? It's a confluence to keep in mind when you're doing smart money trading or OTE trading, because if you see an imbalance that needs to be filled and it also lines up with an OTE or smart money trade, it makes it all the more powerful, especially if you combine it with structure, smart money, OTE, the best forex strategy that we talked about in the last video, right? Okay, so we can see on the weekly here, what do we point out? 1, 2. From this wick to this wick, there's an imbalance here. In fact, before this candle was formed, we were all the way down here. So really, there was an imbalance from here to here. Only recently has this candle somewhat filled that imbalance. Right, when I started to see this candle go up on a weekly, I'm thinking, okay, we might get this imbalance fill. So we might get a small pullback in the EURUSD from this large sell-off, maybe start going a little bullish, and that would influence my OTE trade, right? So you have to keep these longer time frame things in mind, right? You can't just trade short term. You got to think about the long term. So let's put this back here. Now that we've seen the imbalance, right, in the weekly, and this happens on all time frames, by the way. You can see imbalances everywhere. You can see an imbalance right here. 1, 2. Look at that. Right? Not every imbalance gets filled, by the way. Not every imbalance, but it's something to keep in mind, right? It's not something that has to happen, but most times, more often than not, you will see, especially very obvious imbalances getting filled, right? So we see this trend line here. This got broken. I'm suspecting on the weekly time frame, we still might have some upwards direction to go. Maybe fill out that imbalance a little bit more. Maybe fill out the imbalance between this wick and this wick, right? Take out these equal highs right here. might get something that high. We don't know. We can only, you know, trade based off what we see in front of us, right? Okay. So let's do the OTE analysis. All right. So we've seen on the daily time frame, you know, we've seen a reaction off of this last low. What really caught my attention, why I thought we might be getting a reversal, was not only that imbalance, but this three pin reversal that ICT talks about, where it looks like this, right? The ending of this candle goes like that, then you get this candle, and then you get this candle like this, right? So 1, 2, 3. That is a reversal pin strategy, right? Let's delete all these so that it might be a little bit better. 1, 2, 3. Sorry, don't know what that is. Right? But you also had on the 4 hour, you also had the reversal pin as well. 1, 2, 3. Right? Where this candle closes above this candle. Right? The wick of this candle is above the wick of this candle. But this candle next, the wick is above this candle where it looks like a V. That's a reversal pin. Right? Very clean. So we got that reversal, and I pointed it out in my group chat. You know, Telegram link is going to be on below. That we should be careful if we're looking for any more selling OTE strategies, because I saw one lining up, but I saw this reversal pin, and I was like, oh, we might need to check that out, right? And that goes in line with the imbalance that we were talking about before. So, you know, we've gone from the 4 hour. Let's check out the 2 hour real quick and see anything important. Nothing really. 1 hour. Okay. Look at this wick. Look at these lows right here. Look at this wick. That's smart money. That's further confluence that we know that banks are trying to go upwards because they snatched the sell side liquidity so that they can go up, right? Makes sense. So we're even more bullish now. That's confluence. That's why I say look at the longer term structure, then look at smart money, look at OTE. So we just saw some smart money action right here. I'm actually going to be doing the London OTE session now. We're going to check out London because some of you guys have been really asking me a lot for a London OTE scalp. So let's check that out. We've already gone from the 1 hour, so let's just go straight to the 5 minute. Let's do the 19th. Right, the 19th was today. Fantastic. Let's put our parameters from about 1 a.m. It's the London kill zone. 1 a.m. to about 5 a.m. All right. So what do you see here? You know, I'm seeing clear structure of bullishness. Not only have we seen the reversal pin structure, but we're seeing some, you know, on the 4 hour, on the 1 hour. We also had on the weekly that imbalance that needs to get filled. We're also seeing some ups, downs. High, low, higher, low, higher, high. You know, some consolidation. This is the Asian range. Got taken out by this wick, by this candle. Smart money. Bam. Right. But look, maybe if we drew from this low. This almost was a perfect entry to hit 0.62. But what I would have done in hindsight, let's go from this last low right here, put it to this high, and look, bounces right off to 0.79 from this low. See? 1, 2, 3. This low right here, 0.79. By the end of the session, you already hit -2. Fantastic. Also, we can see that this is also a smart money move. See this whole area get taken out by this further confluence. That okay, we got a little bit of pullback to mitigate this area. Yeah, it didn't come into the open of this, so I might be suspecting that might happen maybe tomorrow. But you know, we got a little bit of a pullback. I would have been expecting that because this needs to get mitigated. That's fine, right? But you get this perfect Asian range consolidation taken out by this candle, moves upwards, a little bit of pullback. You would have still gotten in here from this last low because this is also OTE mixed with smart money. You can see smart money and OTE work so well together. Look how this bounces off of this higher time frame trend line Fantastic though. Usually when we see the break off the trend line, we see a bounce, we see a pullback to touch the top of the trend line and then take off. So that's another further confluence that we should have just kept in the trade, keep going up. Hits -2. How much money is that already? How much money did you just make? Until you got it from the 0.62 level. Stop loss is a whopping 6 pips. 1 to 6. 1 to 6.5. Trade. London OTE session trade. All right, so we discussed a little bit about imbalances today. Hopefully that makes a lot of sense. We saw a phenomenal OTE trade, right? Great example. You know, if you guys have learned a lot today, if you learned anything, if you liked the video, if you liked my voice, I mean, like the video, like and subscribe, you know, share the video with people. I'm trying to grow. Love you guys. You know, wishing you guys some successful trading going on in the future. Peace and love, guys.